His daughter, by the way, Thad's daughter, Kate Cochran, she is a extreme liberal. And she has come out and made a statement trying to slam Chris McDaniel and say that he bases his decisions on three things: Jesus, the Constitution, and common sense. Now, that's supposed to be a bad thing. And I guess that's a pretty good statement about where Washington is today when they think that that is a bad thing when a man is basing his decisions on those three things.
Now, Scott, didn't she also slam the people of Mississippi, as I recall?
Yes, she did. I don't recall exactly what it was she said, but yes, she did. She made a statement that was pretty disparaging against the people of Mississippi. I don't recall exactly what it was, but I do remember that she made that statement.
Mm-hmm. All right. How are the ads running? Are they somewhat comparable in terms of number of ads, or is McDaniel getting overwhelmed there?
Well, I think in some aspects he's getting overwhelmed, but people get out and they have the ads. You hear all these things. Of course, there's been Brett Favre that's came out on Cochran's side, which I think was kind of laughable as well. But then you start seeing things also that are going on that kind of tell you that Cochran's side is a little bit desperate. I mean, when you have a campaign manager for Cochran in DeSoto County, Mississippi, that was busted red-handed going out and tearing down Chris McDaniel signs and replacing them with Cochran signs.
Yeah, he was arrested.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was arrested. He was caught actually on, these hunters have these cameras where they go out and they try to capture deer out in the wildlife to let them know where the deer are going to be so they know where to hunt.
Wait a minute, he was caught on a deer camera?
He was caught on a deer camera going out, and, they had placed it because they had noticed these signs being torn down, and, they was wanting to try to place these cameras out in a couple critical locations. They placed some of these cameras out, and they actually caught the guy on camera doing that.
Let that be a lesson around the country. If somebody puts a sign on their lawn or on their private property, it's private property. You have no right to remove that sign.
Absolutely. And, Cochran is somebody, it's funny that you mentioned private property. Cochran is somebody who is really doing everything he can. He wears the R of a Republican, but he's doing everything he can to fight against private property rights. And,
all right, Scott, I got to go, babe. Thanks for your call. And keep in mind, Mississippi, one of Cochran's biggest supporters now is John McCain, Mr. Amnesty himself. Why is it that all the rhinos and neo-statists and all the lobbyists and all the consultants want Thad Cochran reelected? Gee, I think I know why. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin, the conscience of conservatism. Call Mark now at 877-381-3811.
During the break, I am watching these IRS hearings in the ISA committee. They're not that prominently aired. They're on a secondary cable channel. And right out of the box, Elijah Cummings, the chairman of the committee, has demonstrated why he should not be in Congress. Let me put it to you this way. I don't care about race, religion, genitalia, whatever. The man has no integrity whatsoever. That's right, I said it. He's leading a full-scale campaign to obstruct this investigation. And I would say this to Elijah Cummings. Why are you trying to protect the IRS commissioner and Lois Lerner and the IRS from what the vast majority of the American people see as a rogue agency? Why are you trying to protect them and it? Unless, of course, you think Barack Obama has fingerprints on this scandal. Because otherwise, I would think you'd want to join in getting the truth. But he doesn't. And so he drones on in defense of the IRS, in defense of this pathetic commissioner, even in defense of Lois Lerner. Now, when you see the Democrats conducting themselves this way, which is almost always, lockstep, vociferous, emotional, and largely irrational, you know that they are involved in a cover-up. Because what do they give a damn about Lois Lerner? Unless Lois Lerner leads to someone else and something else. They are trying to keep the lid on this scandal. And we all know, if this were the Nixon administration, the Ford administration, the Reagan administration, the Bush 41 administration, or the Bush 43 administration, this would be a national calamity. Day in and day out, the networks would be on top of this. This is why you fools in the media are despised by millions of us. This is why we know that you're partisans. The Praetorian Guard media protecting this administration and this president at all costs. Oh, now and then one of you pops off, but the fact is you're lockstep. You have a corrupt Justice Department. You have a corrupt EPA. You have a corrupt IRS. And you act like it's no big deal. Instead, you want to do stories about Michelle Obama and obesity, or Barack Obama going to Chipotle. Who gives a crap? Why do we care? And the idiots in the media, you listen to them on the radio, the national networks, you watch them on TV. You know 10 times more than they do, or at least you know the truth, and you know they're hiding it. So we have Democrat members of Congress now, led by this Elijah Cummings, who has zero integrity. Hear me, Congressman? I said you have no integrity whatsoever. What are you going to do? Going to write a letter? In full obstruction mode. Full obstruction mode. This is what I say every single day. It's party first with these leftists. Party first. Party over everything else. The truth, the country, the facts, doesn't matter. Party first. Unlike us, who have intellectual honesty, quite frankly. There's another race tomorrow. I'm sure there's several others, but another one that I care about in Oklahoma with T.W. Shannon. Our good friend, Senator Coburn, says he doesn't like all this outside money coming in. Let me tell you something, Senator Coburn. The fact is that senators vote on matters that affect me and my kids, that affect everybody in this country, not just in Oklahoma. Why the hell wouldn't we try and get a conservative elected from Oklahoma? We want to help our fellow conservatives in Oklahoma. We should just leave it to the teachers' unions? We should just leave it to the rhinos? This guy T.W. Shannon's running against is a John Boehner clone. He ran as a Tea Party conservative in 2010, and before you know it, he's part of the Boehner leadership, because Boehner took him under his wing. The conservative in the race is Shannon, Oklahoma. You want a conservative to sit next to Inhofe, he's the guy. And if he were a liberal Democrat running, they'd be holding him up as, look at this great guy. This African American, look at him, he's wonderful. But because he's a conservative, it's as if he doesn't exist in the national media. So yes, the whole country cares about these elections. And the whole country should. Because Congress is out of control. Congress votes on every damn thing it can think of. Just like Obama regulates everything he can think of. So yes, he's the senator from Oklahoma, and he votes on matters that affect Oklahoma and every other state. And every other citizen in every other state. So it matters to... It's amazing, isn't it? Now that we're engaged, we the people, now that we've got this game figured out, now that we know that we shouldn't just be parochial because they're not on the other side, that we need to help our fellow conservatives and patriots and constitutionalists in other states, all of a sudden, well, we don't like the outsiders coming in. Now we're the outsiders, see? Not K Street, not the consultants, not John McCain going into Mississippi, not Romney going into Oklahoma. No, you and I, now we're the outsiders, you see? And they really think of us that way. All right, let's continue, shall we? Yes, we shall. Clay, Centerville, Virginia, Sirius Satellite, go.
Hey, Mark. Like you, I'm as disgusted with these lame brains from Virginia that are supposed to represent us. But I've been voting Republican since 1980, and every election they start calling me and asking me for money. And this time I just told them, no, I'm not giving you anything. And they keep calling and asking. And the last time they said, well, aren't you a Republican? I said, yeah, I've been voting Republican for 30 years, but you guys aren't representing me anymore. You've left. So I'm not giving you one penny. And what I did this week was I called the McDaniels campaign and sent money to them. And now I'm listening to your show and other shows, and I'm listening to you guys interview these candidates, and I'm following what the points you just made. I'm calling around the country. I called in Washington State a few weeks ago and supported somebody out there. I don't think they won the primary, but you get my point. I'm no longer supporting my Virginia.
You're a free agent. You're a thinking American citizen, and you're going to back whomever the hell you want to. And
absolutely.
And did you hear me earlier going through all these rhino elected and financial types in Virginia, among other states, many other states? They actually back the opponent of Cuccinelli.
Yeah. I can't take it anymore. And it's like every time we get somebody conservative to run, they call them terrorist or racist or anything, you know. And
or extremist. Oh, so extreme on the social issues. Let me ask you a question, Clay. When did it become extreme on the social issues to respond to the true radicals who are pushing the agenda and say, wait a minute, I don't think court should be deciding marriage. Wait a minute, the people of Virginia voted. They voted to amend the Constitution on traditional marriage. Wait a minute, I don't support abortion on demand. We saw what happened in Philadelphia with that nut job doctor and so. Why is that so extreme?
Rhetorical question, kind of, but my answer is once these rhinos started voting with the Democrats. And, you know, the only option we have now is to go out of state to try to find a conservative who actually believes in the Constitution. And everybody now that goes to Washington, the first thing they do is lie. They take their oath of office. I swear to, protect, preserve, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And now the Republicans don't even know it. And we've got so many issues in Washington that we can't even get Boehner to start a special
I know. Listen. That. You know, it's funny how everybody's joining in now on Boehner. It was pretty lonely around here for a long time, I'd say for the 3 years, until everybody figured him out. But, you know, that's the nature of the beast here. Thank you for your call, my friend. Let's go to John, Oklahoma City, our great affiliate there, KTOK Country. Go.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to call and get some information. It seems like we're getting a lot of outside money coming into the state